Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Just waiting for everybody to pop on. There's always a good couple minute lag. There we go. Hi Nisha, how are you? Hi Melanie. I hope everybody is having a good week so far. Ooh. Just over here trying to get the link pinned for you guys. There we go. Hi Stephanie, hi Heather, hi Vanessa, hi Mary, hello, hello. I hope everybody again is having a really good week. Thanks for hopping on and tuning in with me. Got a fun, just quick little Peppi cure for you, but it works for any occasion. So I'm just gonna give it another minute because I'm actually a little bit early on the live by just a couple minutes. Nothing too drastic. My nails have already been prepped. The cuticles have already been pushed back and cleaned up. The nails have been lightly buffed, of course sanitized, dried out, and ready to start doing some dipping. So I always call this style of manicure opposites attract because what I'm about to do is hands that are opposite of each other. So what you see over here, I'm gonna mirror it over here opposite. So it's gonna be primarily pink, which is Spring Fling, and that's the color that's on sale tonight for $12.99. And then I'm gonna ombre it over with Stone Cold. So I was like, what can I do tonight? I need baby shower nails, you guys. But also I had to choose the color that we had enough inventory to offer the sale. So I decided to go with Spring Fling. That's tonight's $12.99 color. And we're already at 530 viewers, which is super close to 700. If we hit 700, I'm gonna give a Spring Fling away for free to one lucky winner. If we do something crazy and we go way, way high, I'll do another giveaway. I love doing giveaways. So that will be a lot of fun, but completely up to you guys because we can only get there if you help share by sharing and inviting your friends to join us on the video. Shannon, I do not know if I'm having a boy or girl. We're gonna stay surprised, which is why I'm doing this type of Peppi cure for the baby shower. Thank you guys, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, hopefully we hit 700 because we're already so close and we're only like 3 minutes into the video, so definitely. But anyways, I call this a manicure opposites attract because it really works with a lot of color combos. And if you're doing like a fun little event and maybe a baby shower yourself or a gender reveal or just like mix matching colors for fun, this is a really great way to do it. And I've done this before, but it's been a while. I think I actually did it at Christmas time with Tipsy Elf and Oz Red, and it was so pretty. Or yeah, it was one of those like glitters that we have. But anyways, it was really pretty, so it works for holidays, all kinds of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. Don't forget, tonight's color on sale is going to be Spring Fling, and it's going to be the primary color that I use on my other hand, but it is a perfect spring into summer pink. So if you don't have it in your collection, I highly suggest you grab it because it's only on sale while we are live. Leah says she's a first-time Peppi girl and heard it's the best. Welcome to Peppi. Thanks for joining. We are doing a vertical ombre, so you guys are going to see a little nail art action. Nothing too crazy, but something quick. It's kind of like, not really a speed set, but you know, it's a pretty simple set. So it doesn't take too long to do, which is really good because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm a little bit tired feeling today. but that's okay. All right. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Chelsea. I hope I said your name right. Kathy, I am due July 3rd, but the baby is measuring big, so they keep moving the due date up. So I think it's gonna be like mid to late June, realistically. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Again, the nails have been completely prepped. They've been lightly buffed. The cuticles have been pushed back. I've already shaped my nails to the general shape that I want them to be. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started with the dipping. So just remember when you're using your number 1 and your number 3 to practice proper bottle care. So make sure you're just pulling the brush straight in and out and using that inside wiper in the bottleneck. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but using that to remove the excess liquid off of your brush. Never wipe your brush up here on the rim or on the side of the bottle, because this is an adhesive. Your bottle will get glued shut. So I'm gonna make sure you guys hear that. Your bottle will get glued shut. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So because I'm doing opposite, I am gonna go ahead and start with Stone Cold over here, but don't forget tonight's color is Spring Fling. That is on sale, which is the pink, and it's gonna be the primary color on this hand. I'm gonna make sure I have my ombre brush ready, and we're gonna go ahead and start with our dipping. I'm gonna do a really thin amount of number 1. As you can see on the brush, there's hardly any liquid on here. This is how I keep my nails nice and thin and natural looking once the product is completely applied. So just remember, nice thin layers for a nice thin even finish. On the first round of my base, or my number 1, I'm not gonna go all the way up to the cuticle. I'm gonna go about 80 or 90% up the way, and then I'm gonna dip. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to be thick up there. I want it to have a natural, like, thinness to it, but also kind of like a natural curvature, I guess, is what I'm going for. So I am gonna ombre. When I ombre, I'm going to put a paper towel underneath, even though it's not very pretty to look at, to catch all of my loose powder, because I'm very sloppy when I ombre. You guys, I know so many of you guys are so much cleaner when you do it, but I'm a little bit reckless, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint my base on, and then I'm gonna take my ombre brush, which is just an eyeshadow brush. And I actually normally use the Peppi brush in the nail art kit for this. However, it's not handy next to me at the moment, so I am using what I do have, which is an eyeshadow brush that my mom keeps on hand at her house. And I'm gonna, after I paint the base on, I'm gonna turn my nail all the way to the side and just do the blue Stone Cold and pick up the powder and just tap, 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 so it kind of waterfalls down. And then quickly, I'm gonna go over to Spring Fling, do the same thing, pick it up, tap, tap, tap until it falls down into a waterfall, and that's how I'm gonna create the ombre effect. So I know a lot of you guys like to use the scrub method, I think is what you guys call it. I've tried that method and I cannot get it to work for me, but if it works for you, please, please do it. That is the best thing about Peppi, is that it's so versatile. You can do so much with it, and what might work for you might not work for somebody else, and vice versa. So it's also really fun to learn like everybody's techniques and the way they do things. So when you're doing an ombre, you do want to move a little bit quick because you don't want your number 1 to dry up on you. Excuse me, got a dry throat today. All right, and that's just how you do ombre, simple, quick, and easy. Y'all, I need a sip of water in my throat. So sorry, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and do Spring Fling on the other 3 fingers over here, which again, that is the only color that is on sale tonight for $12.99, and it's only while I am live. So as soon as live is over, the sale is over. So if you guys want it, make sure you grab it. All right, and I am the only one doing live and reading comments, so I'm going to do my best to peek over there at the other screen I have up so I can read and answer those as well. So just bear with me as I do this. But don't forget, if we hit 700 viewers, which we started off really strong, that I will do a giveaway. All right. So I'm just practicing the same method, a thin layer of number 1 and dipping into the jar. Oh, Mandy said Stone Cold was the first color she ever got. That is a great choice. Kathy, no colors being discontinued. Stella, yeah, I'm okay. I don't know why my throat is so dry right now. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just talking too much. Hi, Becky. I'm good. How are you? All right, you guys, so the same thing, thin layer of number 1. I'm not going all the way up to the cuticle, and then I'm dipping right into the powder. And you guys, if you like to work with like the thinner and fluffier type of powders, Spring Fling and Stone Cold should be added to your list because both of them are just that. They're very thin and then very fluffy. So if you're just joining live, the blue color is Stone Cold. And then the pink color is Spring Fling. And I call this Peppi Cure Opposites Attract, or in this case, my baby shower nails. All right. Vanessa, it should have said discounted and not discontinued. But I'll double check that because sometimes autocorrect does take over. Sorry if it did say that. All right, ladies, again, just practicing using a thin number 1, thin layer of number 1, and dipping right into the nails. All right. So then we go ahead and dust off all that excess powder. I always do my thumb last because I just dipped it. I want to make sure it has enough time to kind of set itself up before I get in there and start wiping it off. Otherwise, like if you've ever noticed when you use the Peppi duster brush, or any brush for that matter, if it gets like a little bit hard and crusty up here, it's generally because you're dusting your excess powder off too soon, and that number 1 is still just a little bit wet, so it's sticking with the powder onto your brush. So just something to keep in mind as you guys are going through your Peppi Cure. Alicia, is it Alicia or Alicia? Thank you. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, Mindy, the shower will be before my next Peppi Cure. I mean, this one will be actually grown out by the time the shower happens, but it'll be right before the next one that I do on live. So, you know, might as well just do it now, right? All right, so again, I'm just using a thin layer of number 1. This time I'm gonna fan the brush out, sorry, just a little bit so I can get that nice curved line right around the cuticle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and dip right into the jar. So anytime I fan the brush out, it really helps to just follow that curvature of the cuticle line. But if you ever make a mistake, just grab yourself a toothpick or one of these orange wood nail sticks and just kind of run it right along the edge of the product in the cuticle, and it'll clean it up and it'll be nice and smooth for what you were going for. So now we're gonna get back into the ombre, but this time I'm gonna do opposite. I'm gonna start with pink first and then do the blue. And then every time I do an ombre and I'm on a new layer, I always rotate the way I do it. So it really kind of helps to create the perfect ombre effect. And yes, we are gonna have new colors soon. It'll be a few weeks, but we are working on those. Margaret, oh my gosh, you guys still want to see the baby bump. It's actually not a bump, it's massive now. I am doing maternity photos in a couple weeks, so maybe I'll post something. I'll think about it. All right, so let's go ahead and do that ombre. And again, you want to move a little bit quick when you do it because you don't want your number one to dry, especially if you're sitting somewhere that it's a little bit warmer than maybe inside your house. You'll see that it can dry pretty quick. So I just want to make sure I coat my nail really good, but of course, you know, not too much. And just cover the nails. All right, and then I'm gonna go over here, grab that Stone Cold, and just plop it down on there. So again, the blue that I'm working with is Stone Cold, and the pink is Spring Fling, which is on sale this evening. Sorry, you guys, I am going slow again. I'm the only one reading comments. So I'm doing the best I can to bounce back and forth so I'm not seeing everything. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back over into Spring Fling and work on my second dip here for the last 3 fingers. So did anybody do anything for spring break, or are you guys on spring break, or is it coming up? I know some people already had theirs. I know that like COVID obviously makes things hard, but I do see some people out doing stuff. So what's everybody doing? All right, so I'll go ahead and do my dip, and I always check my cuticle line because this is the time to fix it when the powder is still just a little bit wet, and I can kind of move it around just a wee bit. Yeah, I didn't do anything for spring break. Just working, you know, the normal stuff. I mean, I wish I got a spring break. I kind of miss that, you know, getting one when you're younger, that guaranteed week off. But I do hope everybody is doing good and staying safe out there. All right, so I'm just taking my time because I am working on the areas that are close to my cuticle. I want to make sure I have it set up just the way that I want. So I am just going to go ahead and clean up a little bit. There's no mistake really, but I got a little bit close, and you never want to be on your cuticle. If you're on your cuticle when you apply your Peppi Cure, you're guaranteed to have lifting at some point. I'm wiping my thumb off now, you guys, the excess powder. However, if you make sure the product is stopped a hairline before your cuticle, you're gonna have a lot longer lasting Peppi Cure. And the reason for that is because if you apply on your cuticle, obviously that's not flush to your nail bed. So as your nail grows out, there's naturally gonna be a gap, and that's gonna create a lot of lifting for you. All right, ladies, so I'm going ahead and go over. and work on my thumb. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and dip right in. Perfect. All right. So we're gonna take a pause right here just so I can see. Your guys' comments. All right, so Sarah wants to know, how do you get this spring fling to not be streaky? I always apply 3 dips. I'm not finding any streaks, so maybe you need a little bit more number 1 so it's not uneven. Like if you want a more even layer, definitely make sure you're applying a even layer of number 1. Gosh, I can't talk today. All right, so I'm trying to read your comments if they keep popping up really fast. Oh no, I saw somebody said their spring break was canceled. All right, so let's go ahead and dust off the excess powder. And let's go ahead and do our 3rd and final layer. So again, we're gonna start with Stone Cold on the pinky. Practicing the same methods we've been doing for the whole Peppi cure. Using a thin layer of number 1, being careful with the bottle care and so on. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get back into the ombre. And now we're gonna go ahead and switch back to Stone Cold on this side as the first color that we're gonna ombre down. So let me just go ahead and make sure I get all that excess powder off. And then we're gonna go ahead and use the same methods. All right, ladies, sorry I get so concentrated while painting because you know, like you guys, I want to make sure it's good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take Stone Cold, get that ombre going. It actually kind of looks a little bit purple in the middle where it mixed, but you can still see the ombre forming and it's so pretty. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and finish our last 3 dips on these 3 fingers here. Make sure all that excess powder is off. And here we go. So don't forget the color that I am working with right now, Spring Fling, is the one that is on sale. Alright, so we got a nice thin layer of number 1, and then we're gonna dip. So we have a lot of really great pinks and blues to choose from. if you guys are looking to do something similar or just prefer another pink or blue, but a lot of good ones to choose from. I really do like how these turned out for the occasion. The colors go really, really well together. Elizabeth, no, because it's not contaminating the brush because I'm dusting off the powder in between each one. All right. So let's go ahead and keep going. We're almost done with the main part of the dipping, and then we're gonna file and buff, and then we're gonna be close to done. So like maybe 10-15 minutes, because I like to go slow. You guys know me. All right, and then we're gonna do our thumb. Our final layer here. And the thumb is such a wide finger that you definitely have to be really careful with that cuticle line to really kind of get all of it with a nice even coverage there. Perfect. All right, so now that we're done dipping, I'm gonna leave these two colors here in the corner so you guys can see the colors that we worked with, which again, the blue is Stone Cold and the pink is Spring Fling. I really love how this turned out, you guys. I'm gonna show you side by side real quick. So obviously the left hand over here is a little bit of a rough draft because we haven't cleaned it all up yet, but this is what they look like paired next to each other. All right. Now let's go ahead and take our number 2 and we're gonna set all the nails. We're gonna make sure we get in the sidewalls, along the cuticle, and at the tip of the nail. We really wanna make sure that the product adheres to the nail bed and lasts for a good 2 to 3 weeks. I think the longest I've ever worn Peppi was like 4 or 5 weeks. Oh no, I take that back. Y'all, this past Christmas I had a Peppi Huron for 6 weeks. I don't know how I did that growth, but it was so long. All right, so while the number 2 is setting, which takes about a minute or 2, I'm gonna go ahead and look at your guys' comments. Anna, the only color on sale tonight is Spring Fling, which is the pink. Vanessa says she's trying to decide between Mischievous and Crop My Top. Girl, you can't go wrong with either, and they actually look really great together. Janet, thank you so much. I love having you on the live with us. Lisa, yeah, I stuck the brush into the same thing, but before I stuck it on, all that powder from the previous color was tapped all the way off. Yep, so here's what they look like together. Of course, the left hand that I'm wiggling here is not completely finished, but this is what they look like together. But I'm getting ready to clean all this up so it'll be nice and smooth and shiny, just like the right hand. Julie, yeah, you know what? I will still do a giveaway this evening, so make sure you guys hang on, because we did do one like 2-3 weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago, but it has been a few weeks, so let's go ahead and do one tonight. Anyways, I will give a Spring Fling away this evening at the end of the live, so make sure you guys stay on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and, oh yeah, Spring Fling and Give Me All the Glitter would be really pretty. Shannon says her Peppi keeps chipping on the outside edges. That could be a combo of applying it too thin, not prepping the edges of your nails thoroughly so it's not holding on to the powder, or not using enough number 2 for it to really cure. So the biggest thing you have to remember is the number 2 set is what cures your entire Peppi cure. So if you're not using enough of it or you're not using it properly, it's either not going to cure the way you want it to, or it can cause other issues, which I'll talk about down the road here once we get into our shine. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Tonight I am using a Bell portable drill. I have a link to the same drill in the Peppi group. Under the units tab, I believe it is. And it's a different color now. They changed the color of it, but it's the same drill. So if you're looking to use the same thing, that's the drill I'm using. So I am using a metal bit. I really like these because, you know, you can just nick them right on your skin and it's not gonna hurt you. I don't ever use the red sandpaper bits because they do hurt you if you're not careful. So if you're new, I highly recommend you don't use that. But if you are new to Peppi, you don't have to rush out to get a drill. You can use just your buffer. And I'm actually gonna use both, because I like thinning my nails down with the drill, but I like the finish of the buffer so much more. All right. So I always take the drill, make sure I run it right around the cuticle because I really want that to be nice and clean. And then I kind of either use the desk or whatever to support my hand, or I use my other hand for support, so it makes it easier to maneuver the drill around. And you guys gotta forgive me, ladies, I got carpal tunnel super, super bad right now. So moving my hand around with the drill is going to be a little bit slower because it's not exactly the most comfortable thing to do. Alright, but I will try to go as quick as I can so you guys aren't here all night. And again, I'm just kind of moving the drill around, all around the nail. Just really taking my time with it. This is the one chance I have to make sure the nails are as smooth and even as I want them to be. I never want to go back and fix anything, mostly because I'm just want to be one and done, you know, once I put it on. I know a lot of us live busy lifestyles, so you probably feel the same way. So I definitely put the time in up front so I don't have to fix anything later. And again, just taking my time. So let me check comments real quick in between a couple fingers. I'm going to try to check. Maria, to get the metal drill bit, usually it comes with the Bell drill, like all the extra bits. But you can order them separately on Amazon as well. I do have a link in the group for that, for some pretty ones, if that's what you're looking for. So if you guys are new and you're not familiar with what group I'm talking about, on Facebook we have a group called Peppi Gel Dip Powder Tips and Tricks. We post a lot of information in there, but primarily the group is for just sharing your Peppi cure and, you know, just your techniques on how you did it and so on. It's a great place to go see all the colors in actual use on everybody's hands. So I highly, highly recommend you guys join. Again, I'm taking my time because I want to make sure I smooth everything out from the main part of the nail to the side walls and all around the cuticle. So I went a little bit wide right there. That's why I was kind of getting in there to fix that. And you don't have to drill or buff as much as I do. I am a little bit excessive. But you can stop at any point that you like how your nails look. Like, you don't have to do it as much or as little as anybody else does. It's completely up to you. When you're doing your pedicure, if you like what you see, then you're good to go. Happy birthday, Jamie. Happy birthday, Catherine. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday. She's an April baby too. All right, so again, just going nice and slow. And getting all the way around. So I hope you guys are able to grab a spring fling because it's only going to be available for a few more minutes. All right. Still going. And now we're going to get over here to our thumb. And sometimes if you go like a little too wide and the liquid kind of spills over, don't be afraid to pull your skin down and either file or use the drill to get in there. It's super easy to clean up. If you do too much, you might have a little bit extra elbow grease to do, but it's no biggie because it's easy to clean up. So just remember, if you are new, you are learning to be your own nail tech. So of course, you know, it takes practice. Most nail techs go to school for several months, you know, to learn all their techniques. But you are learning one technique, so it's a little bit quicker, but definitely be patient with yourself. Because after a few tries, you're gonna have it mastered for sure. All right, so now that we're done with the drill, I'm gonna go ahead and take a buffer because I really like the smoothness that the buffer gives. And I'm just gonna go over everything one more time just to smooth it all out. All right. And I always keep the foam side of the buffer towards the cuticle for two reasons. One, we don't want to nick up the cuticle with the sandpaper of the buffer. But two, also I can kind of tilt the buffer and get right in there and just smooth out that cuticle line. So as it grows out, it's going to be nice and smooth and just kind of natural looking. Well, as natural as you can get for putting color on your nails. But you all know what I mean. But you guys can see, like, see how much smoother that is? Like, these are really smooth, but the buffer just kind of like brings it to life. I love it. Love, love, love it. So what's everybody doing for their next pedicure? What's everybody got on the books for their next Peppi? What colors are you guys using? All right. So again, just going as quick as I can, getting through. Buffing is not as intensive a process as I make it look. You definitely can do as little or as much as you want. So just keep that in mind. Don't let the buffing scare you if you're new. But I like my nails to be super thin. I don't like thickness to them or any texture on them. So I always go a little bit extra with mine. You guys, look at that ombre. It's so pretty. It's like, you can see the pink and blue, but there's like a little hint of purple from the colors mixing. Super cute. If you want to do matte nails, you can skip the number 3 and you can apply any drugstore matte top coat you want. But make sure you still set your nails that second time just to really make sure your nails are going to stay strong and adhered to your nail bed. All right, so after I do this, I'm gonna move the colors out of the way, but just so you guys know again, the blue is Stone Cold and the pink is Spring Fling, which is the one that's on sale tonight. Actually, here's a good example of what it looks like matte versus shiny. It's actually beautiful as a matte color. So is Stone Cold, actually. Y'all, maybe I should have bought a matte top coat for this. You could always apply the number 2 and just not put anything on and keep it matte that way. But if you want a little extra protection or strength to your nails, then I highly recommend to add something on there. So generally when I'm filing my nails, I use the edge of my desk, kind of like how you see my nails sitting at the edge of the buffer here. And that really helps me to stabilize my nails so I can get my shape as good as I can. But since the camera is not showing that angle, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the edge of the buffer the best that I can so you guys can get a good idea of what I mean by that. And then as you can see, since I already pre-shaped my nails prior to live, all I have to do is just a little bit of cleanup to bring that shape back to life. Anytime you overlay anything on your nails, you're gonna lose your shape a little bit from that extra texture and layer added to your nail. But if you shape your nails prior and then just touch it up afterwards, it makes it so much easier. Trying to fully like file and shape your nails with product on it, especially dip, is a little bit harder. So it's a little bit harder using the buffer than it is the desk because it doesn't stay as still as the desk would. So I highly recommend trying that though. If you guys haven't, it really helps a ton. All right. So I always just file right in the side walls because I want to make sure that's nice and thin and even and just cleaned up really nice. If I find any mistakes on my cuticle, then I'll always take the file and go around the cuticle edge. I don't do that every time, but if I notice anything that I need to correct, I certainly do. And trust me, ladies, like I still make mistakes and I still fix them. It happens. All right, so just checking your guys' comments. Emily says, what's the difference between Stone Cold and your limited edition? Stone Cold is a little bit brighter of a blue. Your limited edition is more of a gray blue. Alright, so I'm just going in and cleaning up the shape. Sometimes you have to do more than others depending how the powder laid on your nails, which is no big deal. Just do a quick cleanup. There we go. So everybody has one stubborn finger when they're filing and shaping. Mine is always my middle finger. I don't know why, it just never looks exactly the way I want it to. What's your guys' stubborn finger? Mine's my middle finger. There we go. I had to go to the desk for that one, sorry. Alright, ladies, just trying to see your guys' comments. Yes, the Peppi lives will continue when the baby is here. I won't leave you guys hanging, I promise that. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish the file and the shaping. And then one more finger, which is the thumb. And I'm gonna try the best I can to use this buffer block here to really help me stabilize. All right, almost done. All right, you guys. So then again, I always just double check all my fingers, because at this point I am gonna set them one more time and then add the shine on them. So I always do one more quick little smooth over, or just double check to make sure I'm happy with the smoothness and the shape of it before I seal them up for the next couple weeks. So everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and shine them up now. So if you guys are new to Peppi, this step is really, really important. This is the step that takes, I think, the most time to practice and learn. So definitely hang out with me, because I got some really good tips for you guys. All right. So let me go ahead and get my spare paper towel. That's going to be really important in this last and final step. So we're going to take our number 2. I've already dusted off all the nails just to make sure there's no loose powder that's going to get caught on any of my liquid brushes. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the number 2 and I'm going to apply it to my nails. This time when I go to apply the number 2, I really want to make sure that I'm not over applying it. If you over apply it, it's not going to absorb into the nails as much as you need it to for the shine to dry shiny. So just remember, you want to lightly kiss the nails and not like sloppy make out with them, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and apply our number 2. And it is currently 9:15, 9:16. So once I apply the number 2, I wait 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and apply the number 3. While you are applying the number 2, same thing as the first time, you wanna get the sidewalls, the cuticle, and the tip of the nail, because now we're sealing everything in. So you just wanna make sure everything it is adhered properly and that it's gonna cure to dry or shine the way that you want it to. So it is 9:16, we have 2 minutes. Once I hit the 1 minute mark, I'm actually going to wipe that number 2 residue off of my nails. Very important to do this, because you don't want that residue to transfer over to your number 3 brush, as it will contaminate. So just remember, like, if your brush is getting hard when you're applying the number 3, and then later, of course, your bottle will get goopy, that is related to contamination from your number 2, because it's doing its job of curing the number 3, but in the wrong place, not on your nails. So very important that you make sure you wipe your nails before applying the number 3, as well as the other steps that I'm gonna get into as we go through it. Yeah, and this color is actually, both colors are so pretty matte. So as you wipe your number 2 off your nails, and I'm scrunching the paper towel, I'm doing a different spot on the paper towel each and every time. Just wiping them all off, and then I go back over and just kind of rub the paper towel all over it. Then I turn the paper towel and I flip it over to the other side, because I don't want to wipe my number 3 brush right where I just wiped my nails. Very, very important, because again, you don't want that brush to pick up that residue. So I'm just waiting for the clock to hit 9:18, and then we're going to go ahead and apply the number 3. The first round of number 3 is going to be in 2 to 3 quick strokes. You don't want to go too slow because you're going to allow that brush to soak up that number 2 residue. So 2 to 3 quick strokes. Wipe on the paper towel, back to your bottle. 2 to 3 quick strokes. Wipe on the paper towel, back to the bottle. And we're going to do this for all the nails. Wipe on the paper towel, back to the bottle. Make sure you're wiping on a different spot of the paper towel. That's very important. And then wipe, okay? And then I move the paper towel out of the way. You can see that first layer of shine is starting to look matte and absorb into the nails. That's exactly what we want to do. So now we're going to go ahead and just apply our second and final layer, and make sure you seal the tip of your nail. Very important to seal the tip of your nail because you don't want to risk any lifting at that end up there. When you apply your number 3, you want to go thin with it, but not as thin as your number 1. You want a little bit more of your number 3 on that brush because it will help create a nice barrier after that number 2 is applied, and that's how you're going to get your high shine. All right. Same bottle care with your number 3 as your number 1. You want to make sure to never let that brush top the top of the bottle rim or the side neck of the bottle. You don't want to risk having it sealed shut. So this is what they look like all done side by side. I love it. I hope I see some of this on your guys' nails in the group. Super pretty, super fun. Which side do you guys like better? The dominant Spring Fling pink side or the dominant Stone Cold blue side over here? What's your vote? Which side do you like better? So I am gonna wait about another minute or so, and then my number 3 will be completely dry. And I'll be ready to go about the rest of my day. Ooh, Sarah says she likes the Stone Cold side. Evrita says it's hard to choose. Oh, Dana says she likes the Stone Cold side. Kathy, the Stone Cold is getting all the votes. Everybody's really liking the blue side over here. I can't decide. They're both so pretty. I'm not normally like an all pink person, but I am actually leaning towards the left hand over here. Yeah, I call this one opposites attract. I don't know why, just because the hands are opposite and they're kind of going together a little bit there. So I'm gonna give it another minute just to really make sure that they're nice and dry. Oh, I am gonna do a giveaway. So Spring Fling, let's see. What do I want my question to be? Oh gosh. This is the hardest part of live, you guys, is trying to figure out how to do a fair giveaway. Oh, we're seeing a lot of Spring Fling votes now. Michelle, welcome to Peppi. Thanks for joining us this evening. Oh yes, I love seeing you guys' votes. I love it. Okay, the first person, let me think about this. Let me stop reading comments because I'm getting distracted. Let's see. I need a good trivia question. Thank you, Vicky. You're so sweet. My hands are so swollen right now, so I'm not feeling like they're looking good, but thank you. I truly appreciate that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Is this torture that I'm not thinking of how I'm going to give this away? All right, the first person that can name one of the limited edition colors from the Aldo pack that we did last year, or sorry, the year before last year, 2 years ago, is going to be the winner of tonight's Spring Fling. You don't have to name all three. You just have to name one color of the three from the Aldo pack. It was not Karma. It was not Sweet Tea. Melanie Jones got it. Strawberry Prosecco was one of the colors. All right, girl. Email me, peppyjoe@gmail.com, and I will hook you up this week with your freebie color. All right, ladies, I hope you guys really enjoyed the live. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, peppyjoe@gmail.com. Happy to help you one-on-one directly as me. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all in the group, and I'll see you all next week. I hope you guys have a good evening. Good night.